Welcome back to another episode of the Rational Football League show. My name's Emmett. I'm here with my co-host, Brendyn Ford.
Yo, good morning. Come on.
We are the Rational Podcast for Rational fans. You guys can always find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and what's the other one I'm thinking?
I think you got all of them. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Yeah, YouTube.
Yeah, whatever. And anywhere else you can find us. We're usually at the Rational Football League or the RFL show. Also, while you're here, if you guys give us a subscribe, hit the bell for notifications and get alerted whenever we post something. We do post regularly, either our shorts or our segments. But let's get right into it, B, with our news of the week segment. A couple of big things happening here. It looks like Travis Kelce is back and healthy. We saw the funny video of him. If you haven't, come look it up. Was come back to the field limping a little bit and then started twerking, walked it off.
Loved it.
So it's good to see Kelce's back. It looks like also Chris Jones is back. He and the Chiefs agreed to a 1-year renegotiated deal. He'll still be a free agent after the season, but they paid him enough this year to get him back on the football field. Any thoughts about that, B? How are you feeling about it?
Dude, Chris Jones is definitely gone after this season. I don't know how they extend him. That's like my first thought. I bet he's pissed, but he's like, I just got to get a deal done. Sign a one-year deal. Boom. Travis Kelce, excited to see him play this week. A big game against the Jaguars, too. Beginning of this season, I actually saw a couple of analysts in the national media. Don't remember the names. But they were predicting the Jags to be up there for like some of the one of the higher seeds for the playoff picture. Mm-hmm. So even though this is week 2, this game could be pretty important down the line here. Excited to see Kelce score some touchdowns, twerk in the end zone. See Chris Jones do what Chris Jones does. You know what I mean? It should be a good game. I think that Chiefs are 4-point favorites today. I think
3.5.
3.5.
For a game in Jacksonville.
It's in Jacksonville, and they played them pretty tough in their playoff game for like the most part. I mean, I know they ended up winning by by at least a touchdown, a little bit more, but that game was close for like 3.5 quarters. It's gonna be a good one, and it's at 12, or for you it's like 10. So it's gonna be pretty good to see that game early.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm curious to see, again, you said there's potential future tiebreaker implications in this game. How quickly do you think Kelce scores a touchdown and does a Taylor Swift-inspired celebration? How quickly do you think we'll see that?
Just imagine he scores, and he blows kisses. He's like, that's for Taylor. And then every guy's like, pretty early. I mean, should I do a first touchdown bet for Kelce on like FanDuel? Should I just do the first touchdown scored by like Kelce? Because you know the Chiefs are gonna be going at him. You know Mahomes is gonna be like looking at him, right? Yeah. I mean, I know he says he still has trust in the rest of his core, but after that first game against the Lions, you know he's feeling some type of way. Like know Kelce's gonna be that like safe place for him, and he's going to throw him the ball there. So I think he scores early on, and then he's going to do some weird dance, maybe some like shake it off, or some weird dance thing for like Taylor Swift. But yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know if I'd take that bet. I think they might use him a little more as a distraction kind of player this week. Even in the video where he was twerking, then he tried walking it off, you can kind of see he is still limping a little bit.
He's like, oh damn, that actually hurt.
I was like, oh, I kind of wonder how healthy he really is. But,
yeah.
More sad news. I'm sure everyone's aware of this, but we still want to address it. Aaron Rodgers is out for the season. He had tore his Achilles. Apparently, he had a new procedure that could potentially get him back, he hopes, by the playoffs. He's apparently also going to listen to some dolphin lovemaking music to get him back quicker.
So odd.
Very odd guy. But it also seems that the Jets are content to roll with Zach Wilson at quarterback. The only move they've made so far is they have signed Tim Boyle to be the backup. So, what quick thoughts? Do you think Wilson leads into the playoffs?
Playoffs, I don't know. I mean, that team is pretty good with that defense, and he has some better weapons than what he had last year for like the most
Mhm.
part, right? This pretty much swapped out Moore for Allen Lazard, and then you obviously have Wilson there. The O line is still a mess, right? Like I don't want to take a victory lap here, but that's what we talked about last week. That's like my big question for the Jets is like, can the O line keep Rodgers healthy? And they proved in like a minute that they did not. So
Yeah.
I don't know the playoffs, but I mean, rely on that defense, rely on that run game, dude. You have two really good backs back there. Just feed them the ball. I kind of hope they do go to the playoffs because with Rodgers' new like innovative surgery, he can maybe make a push to come back in
Maybe.
record time, which I don't know how that's possible, right? Because 5 months from today is the Super Bowl. So he would need to come back in 4 months' time to play in the playoffs. I just don't see
That
it
does
happening.
sound absolutely ridiculous. I know Cam Akers did it a couple of years ago, but he tore his Achilles in July and came back in January. So what was that, about 6 months?
I just don't see it, dude.
No, I
I
don't
don't
I
know.
don't either. But
But hey, it's
yeah,
Zach Wilson season, baby. Come on.
yeah.
Jets, Jets, Jets. Let's get it, man. Come on.
It was also funny. It was the one O lineman I could not remember the name of that caused the sack that ruined Aaron
Dwayne
Rodgers'
Brown,
season.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I can name everybody else. I was like, wait, who's the left tackle? Dwayne Brown or something like that? Oh yeah, of course that one. I'm
I feel
also
so bad
surprised.
for him too.
Yeah, also kind of tying in two pieces of news here. La'el Collins was released from the Bengals. I think it was a pup list. So
Yes, he was.
he's a good tackle. So I'm surprised, the Jets haven't called him right. Been like, hey, we'll give you everyone. Just sign here now. We need you.
Yeah,
They've already gone all in on this season. Why not just go a little bit further? But
yeah.
next on, so J.C. Horn, the star cornerback for the Carolina Panthers, was just placed on IR. I don't believe I saw what the injury specifically was. Just
It
that he
was
was out
hamstring, I think.
hamstring. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so the expectation is he will miss the first half of the season, with hope that he'll be back for the second half. Do you think this guarantees the Panthers the number one pick again, or what are your thoughts on how this affects their season?
I mean, they were kind of top three before this injury in regards to getting like a top three pick because just the roster itself, I don't really believe in it right now. The receiving core is kind of O line's kind of You have a rookie quarterback back there. Um, Horn being out does hurt that defense a little bit. It sucks. That dude's good.
Yeah,
Um, I remember Ryan Poles wanted either him, Burns, or Moore included for when the Bears traded the number one pick to the Panthers. So he's a good corner. No, it sucks for that like defense, man.
yeah, he's a fun dude to watch. He plays super aggressive, a lot of passion out there. He's excited to watch at South Carolina. So yeah, I agree. It definitely sucks to see, and hopefully he's back for the second half of the season. Help give a little hope to that fan base when they might be 2-6. All right, some quick little out news. Austin Eckler is out this week, the running back for the Chargers. Normally a big fantasy player, so if he's on your fantasy team, quickly you have about an hour. Go check, remove him, put him to your bench, swap him out. A lot of great options. I would look at probably who was your flex. I think you could put Luke Musgrave in there for a couple leagues, the tight end for
The
the
Packers.
Packers,
Mm-hmm.
because Christian Watson and Aaron Jones also appear to be out this week for the Packers, so it could be a good play there. Romeo Dobbs, if he's still available, could be an awesome play, or Tutu Atwell could be another one.
Yeah,
So if you need
if I can add a quick point too, real quick, Emmett too.
absolutely,
Eckler being out influences betting. You guys bet too a little bit. The Titans were 3-point underdogs at home. I think the line is still there, even with Eckler being out. So could be a possible. I mean, I'm kind of debating if I want to take the Titans +3 right now. Just because Eckler is out. No, so actually the line changed from 3 to 2.5 with Eckler being out. So Titans at home, Chargers coming in without Eckler. It's tough.
but they
And
still.
then, sorry, what?
I was going to say, they do have a great backup in Joshua Kelly.
Oh, that's
He
true.
ran for 97 yards last week.
That's true. And then going to the Packers Falcons game, the Packers were 1.5 point underdogs before. Jones and Watson were officially ruled out, and now the line moved to 3 points. So Packers are +3. They're playing at Atlanta today.
And
Don't know if I
Desmond
want to
Ritter
take the +3. I'm still debating that. Only because again, like it's week 1, so it's whatever. But I watched a little bit of that Falcons Panthers game, and if you're a Falcons fan, don't hate me for this. But it looked like they were struggling a little bit. And again, I guess it's week 1 rust. But I guess it's my own bias. I'm not that high in the Panthers right now. So seeing them struggle against the Panthers for a good portion of that game makes me wonder, okay, how solid is this Falcons team? But they do have 2 great, backs to rely on. They have obviously Drake London, Kyle Pitts. Defense looked a little bit solid. So I don't know though. With Green Bay showing last week, it's hard to not take that +3. Even with but Jones being out is a big influence on that team. I mean, that dude could do everything. He can run, he can catch. He's a mismatch in man coverage. So I don't know. It's going to be a game time choice for me if I take that +3 for both the Packers and for the Titans.
And I don't know how much this influences your decision, but Desmond Ritter does have a 29-0 win streak going on right now when he plays at home, stretching back all the way through his college career and into his time with the Falcons.
Really?
He has not lost. He has not lost a home game since he's been in college.
Damn.
I saw that post today or yesterday.
That's crazy, dude. Okay, then.
Trying to make it 30-0. Has never lost at home in college or the NFL.
That's a crazy stat.
I know. It's such a random stat too. But.
Yeah, it is.
All right, perfect. Couple of Bears items here. Some sad news. Bears guard Nate Davis, has lost a close family member. I believe it was this week or last week.
Yeah.
And he will be out this week for personal reasons for that. So our thoughts and prayers are with him. And the Bears defensive coordinator, Alan Williams, is going to be out for this week as well for personal reasons. So Coach Eberflus will be taking over the defensive play calling this week. We are going to pair that little bit of news with something else. The offense coordinator for the Bears, Luke Getsy, earlier in the week in an interview spoke about how he doesn't have any control of what offensive players are active on game day or not. So, I'll turn this over to you as the regional Bears fan, as our insider Bears fan. What are your thoughts on the coordinator situation? We don't know specifically what's going on with Alan Williams, and hopefully it's nothing serious.
Yeah.
But there is an offhand chance it could just be for, insubordination reasons. Hey, you guys don't need me.
Just sucking. First of all, I hope everything's going on with everything is not that bad with Allen. First off, I hate Bears Twitter yesterday was so toxic. I think some fans took a shot of humble pie because when the Nate Davis news came out, they immediately were like, Nate Davis, you suck, cut him. He's this, he's that. He is getting a free bag from the Bears, and then it came out that someone that he was really close to passed away, and it's like, oh, I'm sorry for saying that. It's like, well, no fucking shit. You don't need to be I don't know, an ass about it. So it's the same thing going on with him. I hope that it's not just stuff going on behind closed doors where they're having conversations with him and about football stuff. Hopefully, it's again, hope everything's good personal wise for him there. And another point too about Nate Davis being out. I saw Mark Podish. He's a Bears reporter. Sorry if I'm saying his name wrong. He came out with a crazy stat. With Nate Davis being out, this is the 11th starting O-line combo in 19 games under Matt Eberflus, and the 23rd combination they used in a game. The Bears have yet to have the same starting O-line for more than 2 back-to-back games with Justin Fields. That's crazy. That's crazy.
No way to live as a quarterback, man.
He has a different O-line almost every single game, which is wild. And then, with Luke Getsy not having any authority to choose the personnel, on the active roster every week, it's kind of weird because he's running the offense, so he has to create that game plan, right? Yeah. So you would think he has some authority over it. But at the same time, like maybe that comes from Coach Flus, and then maybe even comes from like Ryan Poles too. He's the one bringing these guys in. He sees the vision with this roster. So I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of indifferent about Getsy not having the authority to choose it, because I guess like if he's like, no, I want to sit Claypool this week, right? And what if like Ryan Poles is like, no, like we traded a second round pick for him. He's playing.
Well, then you kind of play a little bit with like your hand tied behind your back. If you're like, hey, I wanted to use this running back for a lot of scat back options or a lot of receiving options, but then Matt Eberflus, I think, is going to be the one that makes the decisions about who's active on game day or not. Goes, no, we're not doing that. Chase Claypool's in, this running back's out. And by the way, you're going to have a third quarterback this week. It's like, okay, well, what the fuck am I going to do with that?
Yeah,
but I think more to the point, I think it was more curious about the fact that we have the offense coordinator. That's kind of a way of speaking out, like, hey guys, don't blame me. I don't get to pick who's active on game days. That's this guy's fault. And paired with the defensive coordinator out for personal reasons. And again, we hope everything is okay. We hope it's nothing serious. But there's a small percentage, very small, that it is just for like an administrative leave kind of thing. They didn't get blown out by the Packers. They had a closed door meeting, and all of a sudden he's out this week for personal reasons.
Yeah.
It's not a great look, but the point being is that you already have your coordinators kind of like potentially speaking out against the head coach, or acting in different ways than the head coach.
Yeah,
showing some what's it, tension in the water.
Yeah, I was about to say, as you see this season go along, and if they continue to be as ass as they were the first week, you're going to see a lot more finger pointing, because these are guys fighting for their like jobs now, right?
Yeah.
Like last year, it was a lot of, oh, this is my fault. This is I didn't do this for this guy. No, but then this season is a completely different shift. Like you see some underlying tension even between Fields and Getsy. Some of their quotes during this week's pressers. Now you have like Getsy and Flu saying, "Oh well, I don't get to choose who's active. He does, So it's a little bit more finger pointing. I think if they even lose this week, it's gonna get a lot worse. Again, these are guys like they're not stupid. It's a business, right? When you haven't won a game in almost a full year, right, and things are going as bad as they did when get your butts kicked, people are going to start getting fired at some point, and that just happens. It might not be right now, but by the season's end, who knows? Like they could fire Getsy, they could fire Flus, they could, I don't know. So you're going to see a lot more. No, that wasn't me. That was him. That was his choice. Don't look at me. I'm not the bad guy here.
I didn't call. Oh, I called this, and he checked out. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
I do want to move us along a little bit. There's a couple quick last little bit of news points I want to touch before we get on to our games of the week. Couple of, how do I put this politely? Potential racism topics.
Oh, yeah.
Jim Trotter, who was let go by, I believe, the NFL Network, was filing a lawsuit against the NFL, and in the lawsuit states that a couple of owners made racially insensitive comments or racist comments. One of them being from the Bills owner about if the players don't like it, they can go back to example country. And oh my gosh, Jerry Jones. There was a comment from Jerry Jones too that I can't remember right now off the top of my head what it was. That was paired with an event where Alexander Mattson, the running back for the Vikings, who had a rough game Thursday night, had his Instagram DMs filled with extremely racist, hateful, suicidal, suggestive, violent comments. And the NFL did come out, and the Vikings came out and made a post addressing, hey, this is not acceptable. We don't want this from our fans, be better. And the NFL followed up with their own thing. So maybe we can save a full discussion about that for unless you want to touch on it, absolutely. But I do know we are a little bit on a time crunch. I just remember that right now as we were talking about
the stuff that was going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we could definitely give a full segment to this sometime in like the future. But no, it's pretty. I have no word besides it's just vile. Like it's one of those things that makes you wonder. Like, will racism ever like absolve from this world, right? When you have especially people who are owners in powerful spots saying stuff, it's I don't know, dude. Like I don't have many words. I'm kind of just like mind blown about it. Like this stuff is so going on, and it's people within like orgs too. Like if like, it's never right to say that stuff. But when some random weirdo who sleeps on his mom's couch says stuff, it's like okay, that's kind of one thing, right?
Yeah.
But when NFL owners say stuff too, it's like you guys are employing people of different races and stuff like it's I don't know. It's I'm just mind blowing, man. Be honest with you.
Yeah, my favorite is when people go, well, they employ African Americans. They can't be racist. Like, obviously, they wouldn't say. I was like, well, the owner of the Clippers, what was his name? Dan Sterling or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That whole situation where the guy was like making comments and like, hey, you're not allowed to hang around these kind of groups of people, whatever it was. Like, so yeah, I mean, just because you employ someone doesn't mean you cannot be racist. I mean, we're going to go a whole different topic. So it's not.
We can definitely just
But those are the events that are going on and being discussed right now. There's a lawsuit against the NFL where Jim Trotted, former insider, reported those comments were made, especially around the time of, I believe it was the Black Lives Matter protests and events were happening. And then the Vikings I think it was multiple people that were in these games. Okay, perfect. Yeah, we will save that segment for a full episode. We could probably spend a whole hour and a half just talking about that.
We could. So it's truly disgusting stuff, man. It's wild.
It really is. And if you support that, you're into that, you can tune off the video. You can go rethink your life, and that's your personal battle that you have to go through. But we will not be engaging with you on that. Okay, perfect. Let's get us on to the games of the week.
Let's go.
We can't afford sound effects here, so we have to make
We are broke.
Obviously, we are recording this Sunday morning. We weren't able to get in time to do any of the college games, but if we did do a college game, which we didn't, but if we were in a position where we would have made that college game prediction, I think we would have nailed it. So I'm just going to give you someone for that one.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's right. I do want to point out with these, you can correct me if I'm wrong on the standings on this. I believe you're 2-3 right now on your picks.
Sounds right.
Okay.
I have to go back and look at. I know I went 1 for 2 last week. Cause we had Texas, Bama, Dolphins, Chargers, and then
Jets, Bills, and Chargers.
Jets, Bills. Dolphins. What the F Bills, bro? What the hell? How you lose to Zach Wilson?
And that somehow makes me, by some miracle, 5-0, which was super funny because I texted B because obviously people aren't there.
Well, wait. You picked Bama.
I picked Texas in the points.
Bro, what is going on, bro? You said you were going to take Texas with the points, but you think Bama's going to win.
I said I think Bama's going to win, but I'll take Texas with the points. So my official pick is Texas with the points.
Okay. I see what you did there. Okay.
Yeah, if we were like putting money on it, I would be 5-0. If we went strictly off of what team I said would win, I'm 4-1. So
okay.
Let's split the difficult 4.5. However that works. But
okay. All right. Okay.
No,
you're right. No, you're right.
Texas won with the points, and then some.
You did. You're right.
The Bama dynasty, apparently.
Yeah. They broke Bama.
Oh yeah. Well,
yesterday's game was brutal. I know I keep getting this like off topic here, but that game yesterday against South Florida was brutal.
I know. Okay. I apologize. I know we're on a time crunch again, and I apologize to people listening. This is supposed to be a Games of the Week segment, but I just can't fathom what the hell's happened to Bama. I mean, again, I know, like, hey, new quarterback, hey, but I mean, when we were I was looking at the players and everything, and the stats and everything, and trying to research as much as I could for the Bama-Texas game. I was like, there is no talent on this team.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like these guys are just like, whatever, but like their receiving core has to be the worst receiving core I've seen from Bama in a while. Their tight ends good with potential. The quarterback, I think it only had like 20 snaps before the season. So it was just weird to see. It was like, why have they not been able to restock the cupboard like they have previously? Like, what's changed now for them? So that I mean, maybe we can do a segment on that sometime in the future, the downfall of Bama or something. But it was really weird to look at.
Yeah, they have to go back to Jaylen Milroe for starting quarterback. I mean, the two
Yeah,
guys they played yesterday were not getting it done.
yeah.
We can
And they
definitely
say
talk
change
about
up
it
how they play.
sometime, but I think NIL impacted that program a lot, and we can go full fledged some other time. But yeah,
Yeah, we get surprising. But either way, well, yeah, we'll save that whole conversation and discussion for a segment. We'll try to pinpoint exactly what's changed, what's going on, and see if it isn't the same issue that's applying to like Clemson and Oklahoma State. But perfect. Our games of the week this week. We are going to start with our Chiefs versus Jags game. This one's going to be in Jacksonville. Like we already mentioned, Chris Jones and Travis Kelce are back healthy and are active for this week. It's in Jacksonville. Oh, the Chiefs are favored by 3.5 points, which is wild considering, again, it's a home game in Jacksonville. It tells you how Vegas feels about KC this week.
yeah.
But B, let me get your pick. Who are you taking? Chiefs, Jags.
Well, I want the Chiefs to win, but I suck at picking. So if I pick the Jags, opposite will happen, and the Chiefs will win.
But you know what's so funny? I hate to cut you off. I got to give you some confidence here. It's so funny. So picking with this, it's like I said, you're 2-3, but your bets are always great. Like you texted me last week, you went 3-1.
Yeah.
I mean, at least you're winning where it matters. You're right where it matters.
Yeah.
No.
You're right. And I do have a bet this week for this game, so it better hit. I am taking the Chiefs with the points. I'm buying into that. It could be just hype because they won the title last year and all that stuff. But I need them to win by 3.5 at least. Come on.
Okay, so you're taking Chiefs minus 3.5.
Yeah.
You know, I Chiefs. So before the Chiefs lost to the Lions last week, I believe they were. I think they're 20-0 was the record under the Reed Mahomes era.
Mm-hmm.
They had never lost a game in September before. So
interesting stat. Okay.
Yeah, it was weird. It's a weird stat that Colin Cowherd loves to throw out every time he talks the Chiefs in September. But I think to get back on their winning ways this week, I'm taking the Chiefs as well with the points. I think they beat the Jags. I think they need a rebound game. They're going to have a healthy Kelce. They're going to have a healthy and angry Chris Jones. So I think they're going to go in. And they're pissed off from last week against the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of the comments that even like, oh, go on. Sorry.
I was about to say, and if you care about advanced stats like rest days, they have more rest days too because they played Thursday night in week 1. So I kind of used that as a factor. They had more time to prepare for this game
and game plan
compared to the Jags. Yeah.
And I think Andy Reid's. I know he has I think some crazy stat about him coming off of bye weeks is I think he's only lost a couple of games. So when you give that man plenty of time to prepare, he makes the most of it. So again, for all those reasons, nothing against the Jags fans. I think they have a great season, but give me the Chiefs in this one. Cool. So both of us are on the Chiefs train. Let's move on to our second game of the week, which is a divisional game. Again, for the people wondering why we aren't talking 49ers Bears, we don't pick on those teams because we're fans. We're going to be biased. I think the 49ers are going 17-0. He thinks they're going 16-1. So
I'm betting against the Bears every week that they can prove that they can win. My money is against the Bears. It's like the opposite of favoritism. It's like this. I just pure pain.
I think it's
just going away from them.
Not nepotism. Oh my god, what's that term called? Where you love pain or whatever?
Sadistic? No. As you all know, I have a very limited vocab. Okay, I don't know many big words around here.
Okay, I'm gonna look up.
The word has more than 3 syllables. I'm not saying it, or I don't know it.
Masochist.
I've never heard that before.
Oh, it's so Nebula from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah.
She's a masochist. They make a joke about it. I think the second one.
Really?
But she loves pain or whatever. Loves being in pain. Yeah.
Interesting.
BDSM. The M stands for masochism.
All right. Well, I guess you learn something new every single day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and B
I guess
stands
I
for
learned.
butt stuff. Apparently, no, I'm just kidding.
All right, with that, we have four Loco, our sponsor for tonight.
For this week, it's Celsius, the family brand Celsius. Pair it with your BDSM today. You can't spell BDSM without Celsius.
That's so funny. I found an old picture of me drinking for Loco. Sorry, from like college. I was gonna send it to you. That's gonna be our new like this our thing for our sponsor.
No,
Guys, we're trying to get four Loco to sponsor the show for no reason. So
it's funny. I've wanted Celsius to sponsor me to do anything since I was 18. I love that brand. So
really, that's good.
if they will pay me to do anything, I'm glad for it. Sorry, moving on to our next game of the week. That was our promotional advertisement, if you weren't aware. Dolphins Patriots in New England. Miami is favored in this game by 2.5. So Tua is back healthy. It looks like full roster. I know the Patriots gave the Eagles a run for the money last week. I think the final score was 25-20.
Yeah, 25-20.
With Mac Jones.
After losing 16-0, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah. So again, it's in New England, minus 2.5. Who are you taking? You taking old Bill Belichick or the new age Tua Tagovailoa?
So I have a bet for this too.
Okay.
I feel like I'm gonna regret it, but I'm on the Dolphins hype train here. They played a pretty good game last week. It was high scoring against the Chargers, as we both expected. I like, obviously, the Patriots defense because they have Billy there, and they always have somewhat of a solid defense. I'm not a believer in the Pats offense yet, though. And I'm taking Dolphins I actually got them locked in at -2. It's at -2.5. So I did this bet a couple of days ago. So pretty happy about that. I'm taking Dolphins. I think they just have offensive firepower. If somehow, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. That's why I said I feel like I'm going to regret this. This is the type of game where Billy and that Patriots defense just stymies the Dolphins offense and locks them down. And I know that Tua threw for like 466 yards last week. I can see this being a game where he throws for like 250 just because the Patriots defense that's just what they do. But I'm taking him to proven otherwise. The offense should be top 5 in the league. Give me Dolphins and that spread.
Yeah, see, I'm sitting trying to think of a way to talk myself into the Patriots. I'm like, well, it's in New England.
But I just don't trust their offense, man. Like I don't
trust them either. The problem I have is divisional games. Divisional games are always so freaking weird because this is what Bill Belichick's third time now seeing this offense with Mike McDaniels and Tua Tagovailoa.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he's probably got a good plan for it. So I don't think the over under for the game is 45.5. I would take the under. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game. I think Bill Belichick will work a way around to stop that offense.
Yeah.
But the question is do I trust the Patriots defense, the Patriots offense to figure it out and get some points on the goddamn board? And I'm trying to think about, I know they got Hunter Henry there. They have, oh my God, who is the guy for the Dolphins? Devontae Parker.
Smith-Schuster's hurt. He's not playing, I don't think. Is he? I thought something's going on with his knee. But to your point, the Dolphins did give up a lot of points against the Chargers. They gave up, what was the final score, like 38-35 or something like that?
I think so, yeah.
So I guess Dolphins defense isn't that solid right now, or the Chargers offense, which we kind of expected to. Chargers offense is also very, very good. But I mean, Billy loves to take someone away, right? So sure, they take away Hill, but you still have Waddle.
Yeah. And you still have Raheem Mostert. You still have Mike Gesicki's not there anymore, right?
No, he left. I don't know who their tight end is right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I much as I want to say it, I'll take the Dolphins still. Mm-hmm. I'm hesitant about it. I think it's going to be a really close game.
I placed that bet. I was like, do I really want to do this? But I was like, again, I can see this being a game where they totally just stymie that Dolphins offense and gave up 300 total yards or something and make it very ugly, 20 to, I don't know, 18 game or something. I don't know how to get 18, but I can see it being a very low scoring game.
I'm gonna change my mind. I'm gonna put my perfect record on the line. Give me the Patriots. Give me the
I love
Patriots.
it. I love it.
I'm trying to think because I'm trying to like think it through. I'm just
Well,
like they put up 20 points against the Eagles.
do
Eagles
you
defense. The Eagles have a good defense.
when you say you're taking the Patriots, are you taking Patriots like money line? Like think they're gonna win, or are you taking this plus 2.5? Like you think they're either win or lose by less than 2?
I mean that really means you have to win by a field goal, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
unless they like somehow win by 1 point. So I guess I'll take the Patriots outright.
Mm-hmm.
So go back and out of this one. There's no loopholes to this one. I'm taking the Patriots.
no loopholes.
I know they're gonna get blown out now, and I'm gonna look like an idiot. But like I
No,
just the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm like, okay, Belichick's seen this offense enough times, he should be able to stymie it. But
yeah,
they're in New England, which favors the Patriots. And 2.5, I mean, that's not really a lot for the Dolphins. Their defense did
it's
give
really
up
not.
35 points to the Chargers. The Patriots did score 20 on the Eagles. I would take the Eagles defense over the Chargers defense.
Yeah, I do think the Dolphins gonna break my heart, and I feel like the 2.5. I'm leaning more towards it won't cover. Like maybe they win, but it'd be like a point or something. Like be something
Yeah.
stupid like that. Because I was like, you know what, I gotta go with it. I gotta ride that Dolphins train until it stops. And their offense was explosive last week.
So
Patriots offense is not.
let me just lock it in. E and B pick the Chiefs. B going with the Dolphins, and taking the Patriots. Yeah, and again, I know that's one of the ones I'm going to look stupid on Monday, where
Same
it's like, see, look, the Patriots got blown out because no shit, dumbass. It's like, but I just again, the more I'm thinking about, it, the more I'm like, they might have just enough to do it if they can just hold the Dolphins, again, make a couple mistakes, make Tua throw the ball or fumble the ball, whatever it is, you know.
No, I'm right there with there. I looked at that. I was thinking about it for like 20 minutes. I was like,
which is why we picked it for the game of the week because we want hard decision games. I don't want to pick Arizona versus the Giants, whatever. Like I want to pick a good game where it's like, I got to really think about this. What do I actually feel about it?
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. All right, so that's our picks of the week. You guys can bet with us, bet against us, whatever you want to do. Just know if you bet against us, you're going to lose all your freaking money. So
yeah.
Perfect. And then B will be posting his bets, I think, later today, right, on Twitter. So if you want to see, if you want to bet like B, if you want to make money like B, go check out his bets.
Money train. Sorry, I don't know why I just did that. You're like, oh, okay, we're trying to move on.
All right, we're moving on now. We're doing money trains and stuff.
That coffee be hidden.
All right, perfect. So for those of us who haven't joined us at this point before, again, thank you so much for watching. We are going to be moving into our segments. We do 2 segments every week. We break those segments up and then post them throughout the week as well. But if you really want to get them first, this is where they are posted first. These ones are a little more opinion based, not a whole lot of statistical data behind it. So not a whole lot of like analytical research that we had to do for it to try to stymie opinion.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is going to be a little more critical reading based, and another one's going to be a little more criticism of the media based. So let's get right into this. So I'm sure we've all seen this at this point. The NFL has run out a new campaign that they are calling #scripted. The point being is that they make some kind of video. The one this year has Keegan-Michael Key in it. And they get players and they hand them this fake script where it's like, oh, you're going to catch the ball with your abs. Well, where's the part where I catch it blindfolded with a broken foot? And it's like they make see how ludicrous it is, and then it's always NFL scripted. You can't make this up. The point being is that hey, look, this is real. This is legitimate. The players don't have a script. It's not fake. It's not the WWE out here. You're being an idiot. I know me and you talked about it a little bit in the week, and you want to give your initial thoughts before I get into my tangent, or?
Yeah. I'll be brief. I think they're definitely like overplaying it. When it came out like last year, they made a couple of jokes, or it wasn't even like the NFL as a whole. It was a couple of teams. If I remember, did like some funny videos. The Chargers had a funny video, if I remember correctly. If it was like, all right, that's funny, yeah. And then like it's just nonstop. When it first came out, when I first saw the first, I don't know, commercial, I guess, I was like, okay, that's all right. And then I saw like 5 other versions of it, and it comes out like every single week for the past like month, I feel. So it's definitely getting overplayed. But I'll hand it over to you, Emmett. I just want to keep it brief for you.
Yeah, you're good. And I think that's a decent take of, hey, this is becoming too much. This is, getting annoying like all ads eventually do. My problem, and I fucking hate this campaign. I hate it with a passion. My problem is not that it's an overplayed ad. It's not like, hey guys, the jokes run old, like move on. My problem is that the NFL, in my opinion, because I'm reading what they're saying, is calling their fans stupid. The joke is that, again, hey, look, we can't script this. We can't make this shit up. You're an idiot if you think, look, you really believe in like they're catching balls with their abs and shit. We scripted this whole fucking thing. You're dumb as shit. And my problem with it is that it all stemmed from last year with the AFC and NFC championship games and eventually the Super Bowl. In fact, I remember there was, I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. Fans were not thrilled with the way the games were officiated. They felt there was a lot of phantom calls. There was a lot of missed calls, whatever you want to say about it, that kind of helps secure certain outcomes that people thought the NFL would find more profitable for viewership versus other outcomes. And I think the concerns, complaints are very well founded. The officiating was not good at times. I remember there was a couple calls in the Bengals Chiefs game last year where people were like, literally, like, what the fuck is this? What are we doing here? And it got to the point where there was a woman on TikTok, and I cannot remember her name right now, but she got big. Her videos were blowing up because every week she didn't do a team by team analysis. She did a ref analysis, what their holding call penalties were, what they were this, what they were that, how aggressive they were. And based on that, made picks for who was going to win the game. And I think she was right pretty much every time. But that's how bad it became, is the sole focus was the officials are so fucking bad. How do you guys keep assigning these officials to these games? And it made people start asking and suggesting, hey, is the NFL rigged? Is it scripted? Is it, whatever? Is it set up? And then people pointed out, well, technically the NFL is an entertainment company. They're not a sports company. They do have a legal right to fix games if they want, to predetermine an outcome. So what I'm seeing this as, I'm viewing this as I'm taking this is the NFL is saying, look, guys, you're fucking stupid. There's no way we're doing that. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. And they're really pushing it. That's why you're seeing the advertisement so much. Because what are they really promoting? They're not promoting you to watch games. They're not promoting you to buy something. They're yelling at you a message. You're stupid if you think these games are scripted. And again, I think fans had a very valid point. The fans' point was, we don't think the fucking players are scripted. I don't think the fucking players get a goddamn script of, oh, in week 8, I break my goddamn ACL. Fans' points were, hey, you guys are clearly putting these fucking officials in these games to help determine an outcome with a flag, a missed spot, whatever. And you know what? We still don't get to hear from the refs. The head ref doesn't ever, we don't need to hear from all of them. The head ref needs, if they really wanted to solve this problem and prove, hey, we're not rigging this game, they should have had the head ref come out. Hey, from now on, after each game, the head ref is going to come out and do an interview. They'll take, a few questions and that's it. Very simple. It shows transparency. Hey, guys, why did you call this? Well, from what my officials saw from this angle, it looked like he grabbed a little bit of the jersey, and that's according to the rules, blah, blah, blah. We made that call, right? Or, hey, we let it play throughout the entire game. To us, we didn't view it. Like, again, a little bit more of the transparency would have really helped give people a sense of security in the game again of, oh, all right, like, they're human. I get it. It's not rigged. It's just a matter of that's how they interpret the rule. That fucking sucks, but it is what it is. But the NFL didn't do that. They haven't done it. They haven't given us any other access to officials. They haven't said, hey, going forward, we're going to really make sure that our top guys are in the games and they're called better. It's strictly been about, you guys are stupid if you think it's scripted, and just calling the fans stupid. And then to double down on it, to think that fans aren't smart enough to catch on to what the fuck they're saying. Sorry, I'm going on a very long tangent here. And I know you're not getting a whole lot of words in here.
There you go.
So let me take a breath. Tell me, based on all the I've just said, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah. So when we were talking about this early on in this week, and you brought up like your point of like they're pretty much are calling the fans stupid. I didn't even realize that. That went way over my head. I was just like, I thought they're just coming up with cheesy ass ads, honestly. and it's like, okay, it's just kind of funny, but it's getting overplayed, right? He brought up that point, and like, yeah, that's a really good point, man. There pretty much are. That's like the underlying message here is like, if you believe yourself is scripted, you're dumb. And then to your point about them just glossing over the real issue, which is the refs sometimes just calling just BS stuff, or what we think as fans is BS. And they're not like addressing that part of it, right? Like we don't think it's in the script for a guy, to your point, will tear his knee or break something. Like duh, like duh. But the real issue is sometimes actually most times the refs, right? I mean, they call sometimes just like really bad stuff. Last year in the Super Bowl, they had that holding call against what's his name? What's that corner? 2024. Yeah, against Juju. Yeah. And we're like, nah, you call that? It was kind of like we call. Like, what the hell? And the refs, they never have to address the media or the people for their logic for making that call. They can just make a call. And it's like, if something were to be fixed, I'm not saying NFL is, but if something were to be fixed, it would be a lot easier to fix it through the refs than scripting a player breaking his knee or something. Like, duh, that's
right.
Yeah, and
or the guys like, I know he's going to come down here, so hey, we're scripted. We practice this spin move to like. That's not what they. That's I'm sorry.
It's not. No, that's not what people are saying. It's the refs could. I've never refed, right? I've only been a player and like a fan, but I feel like they could easily influence the game. Throw a couple flags here and there. It won't want it to be a lot. It's just like that one holding call against the Eagles and Chiefs. It's like, well, that pretty much almost decided that game. It did. Like, it's gonna be a whole lot. It can be one call that influenced the entire game. So I don't think it's outlandish idea to think like if someone were to think the NFL is fixed, it would be fixed through the refs' actions, not the players.
And again, to someone that might be saying, well, why the fuck would the NFL care about that? Like, why would they care? If fans are yelling at scripted, because it tunes you out. Because it's the same reason, for me personally, I can't watch the WWE because I can't fan over it. I can't be like, this guy's my favorite wrestler and I know he's going to win because he's great. When it's all predetermined, it's all pre-scripted, and you're like, this is fucking dumb. Like, why would I give a shit about this? You care less about the players. You care less about the storylines when you know it's not a genuine outcome. It's not really people battling and fighting for their lives and their careers and whatever else. It's like a TV show. You don't get passionate and fired up about a fucking TV show. You may cry a little bit about a sad moment and go, oh, yes, this happened. But, like, you're not fucking buying a T-shirt and wearing it every week to watch that goddamn show. You're not paying $200, $250 to go sit in the audience of that show. It's the same fucking thing. The NFL needs people to be passionate about it. I think just like go back a little further. Remember the Saints-Rams game in the, what was it, NFC Championship game?
Yeah. Was that 2018, 27?
2018, I think it was, where, complete missed PI. And it's like, it's stuff like that where you're like, okay, clearly something has to be going on here, because how in the fucking world do you not see this? And then you never get to ask the official, because maybe there really is a justifiable reason. Hey, a player ran in front of me, I didn't get to see it. Hey, from my angle, it looked like it happened at the same moment. Whatever it is, maybe there really is a justifiable moment, but we never know that. So all we can do to rationalize it is to go, obviously they wanted the Rams in the Super Bowl. They're moving the team to LA, or they had just moved the team to LA. They need to build up a fan base quick for that. What better way than to get them Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Same thing in 2021. It's like when you start looking at it from like as if it was a story, like, a TV show, you start kind of seeing these outcomes and you go, oh, is it rigged? Is this set up? And again, I don't want to sit here and suggest it is, because I have zero evidence to suggest that it is. But, it kind of makes you care. Like, I didn't care about the Super Bowl last year at all, because I became fixated on this is set up. Yeah. Like, this is BS. These aren't genuine games. Like, this is clearly a predetermined outcome based on what the NFL thinks would draw the most interest. Yeah. New face of the league, or potential face of the league of the NFC, Jaylen Hurts versus the face of the league in Patrick Mahomes. Get Patty his second ring because it's been a while since he won it. Like, you can hear the storylines before they happen.
Yeah, and they're not addressing that part. And
What was that?
I'm sorry, I was saying they're not addressing that part still.
Exactly. They're
Like,
not. It's like, and they're trying to make a big joke about it. They're really trying to ram it down our throats about, look how stupid you are. And then like, I think I saw like they had released like 5 videos, and they had teams doing videos about scripted of, oh, did you get your script? It's like, stop insulting our intelligence. Stop acting like we're too fucking dumb to sit here and know that you guys are just trying to make fun of us for saying it's scripted and that you're not going to change shit.
yeah,
I'd rather you just say, hey guys, we're not changing shit. Like, there's going to be bad calls. It is what it is. Rather than make a joke about us and make it seem like we're fucking dumb for suggesting or thinking, what the fuck is this?
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
But we will see what happens with that. But yeah, that's my whole tangent. Yeah, it's just, and I know, I think it was Mike Florio actually from Pro Football Talk mentioned a similar thing of, hey, is this the NFL just suggesting that people are stupid for saying it? I was like, yes. I said from the first moment I saw it, I never thought they were funny. It was the first moment I saw Keegan Michael Key come on and was talking like a script. I was like, you guys are literally insulting our intelligence. You guys
Yeah.
literally think we're too fucking dumb to know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. Like, you guys are really, really so full of yourselves here.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it blew me away. I was so fucking insulted by it at first. I was like, I scroll past him now because I usually see him on Twitter, but I'm like, you guys, you're going to turn a whole lot of people off because people are going to catch on to it eventually.
Yeah. And how many more are they going to come out with for those damn
lot.
ads? Are we done? Like,
Yep.
it's going to keep
Every
on,
time,
keep on
as
going.
long as people are suggesting this thing is set up or rigged or scripted, whatever, they're going to keep pushing it. They're going to keep pushing because they're really trying to combat this narrative
So
instead
annoying.
of just addressing the narrative.
Yeah.
Like, all you guys need to do, simple solution. Hey, our head chief official makes a shit ton of money. They make $200,000 or something a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, after every game, they can go do a 5-minute press conference. Very quick, in and out. You know, give the best answer you can. Defend your crews as you need to, just like head coaches do, just like quarterbacks do. Hey, that's my guy. You know, he didn't see it. None of us saw it. There's nothing we can do from our angle. It looked like this. According to the rule book, this is how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, done. In and out. Oh, okay. I guess we know. Going forward, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Very easy. It rebuilds the trust in fans in the NFL product.
Yeah.
Instead of doing that, they've just decided to you know, try to insult people, try to gaslight us into thinking that, hey, you know, this isn't really happening.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I guess I am stupid.
This is not the rigging you think it is.
Yeah.
Good old
NFL. Good old NFL.
I was going to say, to further compound it, just, and again, to last point, nail it home, then we'll move on. For people that are sitting at home right now, or sitting on their couch, bus, train, wherever you're at, going, well, Emmett, why the fuck would the NFL do that? And here's the biggest thing about why I think they would. And it goes back to our previous video that we had of sports betting. Because of sports betting, the NFL salary cap is expected to explode because of sports betting. The NFL is making billions and billions of dollars off of sports betting. Other groups are making billions and millions of dollars off of sports betting. Look at Pat McAfee, how much money he's made from the sports betting. There is so much money involved in the sports betting in the NFL. The NFL cannot afford to have people think this is rigged, because you know what you don't bet on? A rigged event. If you bet on the WWE, you're a fucking idiot. You bet on horse races. You bet on... Hell, people don't even bet on baseball games because the odds are so fucking wild sometimes of what can happen.
Yeah.
People want a product that they can trust, that they can analyze and make a safe bet on something. If it's scripted, it's not a safe bet, because what may happen is not what should happen. You know, if we're talking Chiefs, you know, Chiefs, Jags, or, you know, whatever, and all of a sudden the other team just happens to blow it out because of a bunch of bad calls, or keeps it close, just close enough that the house wins, you're not making those bets anymore.
Right.
So the NFL cannot afford to have their product tainted by the thought of it being pre-set up in any form or fashion, because it would cost them billions and billions of dollars, and they're not going to let that happen.
Yeah.
So
no,
they'll pay Jordan Peele to fucking produce the next one if they need to. They'll bring in Michael Bay to set up explosions that say the NFL isn't scripted. They're going to do whatever they have to do to convince people that this shit is not rigged.
Right. Yeah. No, they will. No, you have a fair point. Once gambling became kind of part of it was there, but now it's more nationwidely used and whatnot.
Yeah, you had a couple places
DraftKings, aren't they partners with the NFL? I don't know if
Yeah.
you mentioned that, but like they literally have a sports book that's an official
Mhm.
partner of the league.
Yep.
Come on, it
Like I said,
you
some
kind
of
of
the
help.
top.
You can't
Well,
help but
I've watched them keep going.
you can't help but wonder, like, is there something going on behind closed doors with good old Uncle Roger and whoever the CEO of DraftKings? Like, they're like, how can we make the most money
Mhm.
possible between the two of us? You know what I mean? Like, you can't help but wonder that. So
Yeah. I
that's
said
my last
again,
point.
I just want to further hammer this home. We don't have any evidence to suggest the NFL is rigged. We are not saying that. We are saying that we are not a fan of the NFL's way of combating the narrative that it is scripted. The narrative of making a joke out of it, of assuming fans are too dumb to catch on to what they're doing. I don't like. Just address it head on. Be upfront about it. Tell us how you're going to change. Hey, we're going to start implementing the Sky Judge. We know people are really concerned. It's really turning people off from our product. Here's a Sky Judge. Everything will be reviewed in real time, just like the XFL. Or, hey, we're going to pay our NFL or head officials an extra $100,000 a year. They're going to take questions after a game. 5 minutes. That's all you get. 5 minutes of questions. If you don't have any, cool. They're good to go. Done.
All right.
Again, I think that's that simple little upfrontness, that directness helps reestablish confidence in the product, not making jokes about it. So that will wrap up our tangent on that. I apologize, but I know we went a little over, but we'll go right into the next one. We have a previous video where we talked about Josh Allen being Superman for the Bills, and can he will them? Can he pull them to the playoffs? I know this is a big one for you, so just as you saw me talking about the last one, this will be a mostly B conversation. But is Superman his own kryptonite? Is he doing too much? And why? Why is the NFL not addressing this? You see guys like Dak Prescott get shit on for throwing 15 picks.
Yep.
We see it with everyone else. Why
Yep.
not Josh Allen?
Yep.
And the floor is yours.
I'll give you the brief. We have like 15 minutes to kick off here for you all watching this. So, I don't know why. Okay, so I'm trying to think the best way to word it. Josh Allen is given the title top 3 quarterback, which when he plays well, he should. But my point is he doesn't get the criticism that he should get for some of the erratic play that he does sometimes. He lost the Bills a game, a winnable game, a Aaron Rodgers less Jets team, a interdivisional rival game because he had 4 bonehead turnovers, 3 of which were just picks that are just like crazy. Like, why did you even throw that? I saw a stat on Twitter. He has thrown 20 picks since the start of the 2022 season, and no one seems to point that out. They just kind of label him as, oh, he's a gunslinger. That's going to happen. But he also will make those big splash plays too. That's whatever. Okay, that's fine. But you still have to criticize him too. And some of the unfair I don't know, narratives around some of the players you just mentioned, like a Dak Prescott, who I feel gets overhated for whatever reason. It's just a nice meme at this point, a trend that people just hate on him. You have ESPN Thursday Night Football. Okay, Jalen Hurts, I think, turn over the ball maybe once or twice or something like that, and had like this graphic of the amount of turnovers he had so far this season compared to last season, which hasn't been a lot this season yet. But to whatever, it's besides the point. So they highlighted Hurts turnovers, right? Where Josh Allen himself alone, and he said this, lost the Bills a game week 1, Monday Night Football, for being Superman, to your point. And I just don't get it. And he keeps saying, I remember last year too. He's like, yeah, I just got to play better, blah, 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 blah. No one's talking about it. No one's saying, oh, should Josh Allen just be given the title of top 3 quarterback in the league because of his turnovers, some of his gunslinging play style and quotes. Because I don't know if throwing in a double coverage 60 yards downfield is considered gunslinging. That's just stupid. And I feel like we need to have that topic, and we need to talk about that topic. I mean, and I'm a big Allen fan. I like Josh. I think he plays the quarterback position well when he is playing well. And I understand that when you are a playmaker, it's tough to find that fine line between being aggressive and playing it safe. I get that, right? But some of the shit he does though is just flat out stupid. Like, why would you throw? I just can't imagine. Like, he just launched the ball. I remember the play. It was a post to whoever. It might have been Diggs. He's doing a double coverage, like again, 60 yards downfield. For what reason? You don't need to do that, dude. Like, he was never open. Yeah, so we just need to have that chat. And I feel like as a league right now, no one there's more whispers about it, but it's not bringing to the forefront of how come other quarterbacks get judged more harshly when they do the same or even less erratic BS playing than Josh Allen. Josh Allen just seen as his poster child. Like, yep, he can never do anything wrong. He's top 3 no matter what. It's wild to me.
Yeah, again, I agree. It's a little bit, not a little bit. It's a lot of. It's time to have that talk about Josh Allen. He is getting in his own way. He is getting in his team's way. You can't throw 3 picks to the same guy. If you want to say, oh, well, okay, well, this and that, because I remember there's a couple Bills fans that were discussing with me about, well, what about the defense and the special teams? It's hard to play defense when the opposing team keeps getting the ball on the 40 or the 35 or the 20. Like I think it was the last drive before the fourth quarter. I thought the game was over. Josh Allen fumbled it, trying to do too much. Jets recovered it on their own 30, on the Bills 30. It was like, this is over. There's only 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. One first down, 2 first downs, and a field goal. This is done. You can't have it. And you got to wonder, is it a matter of, hey, since Brian Dable has left, has this become more of a problem? Is this just people are figuring him out more? Is he starting to distrust the talent around him and feels he has to do this? I see some stupid comments about it's because he has a defensive coordinator as a head coach. That's dumb.
That's not it.
Well, that's its own video in a different day, but that's dumb. And you need to really rethink your life if that's the conversation you're having. But yeah, my best guess about why he doesn't get criticized too much is because the NFL is a very narrative driven league. Like, it really does feel like a TV show sometimes when you're talking about, like what we care about, right? Why is Brock Purdy such a huge talking point all the time? Because we love seeing the story of the underdog, the guy that went from Mr. Irrelevant to the stardom. We love talking about Jalen Hurts and his rise. Again, another underdog story. We just love our DeMar Hamlin. We love our redemption stories too. It's all narrative driven stuff. And that's what we kind of have here with Josh Allen. Josh Allen is the NFL story of the hard worker. You put your blue hat on, you go to work. He was, predicted to not, or looked at as not having a lot of accuracy, a lot of deficiencies, small school guy, underrated. And look at him now. He's a top 3 quarterback. He's a top 2 quarterback. He can go head to head with, Patrick Mahomes. And now if you start criticizing him, it kind of takes away that story. People you can't really keep saying that anymore, which is, again, like I said, the NFL loves their narratives. So I think that's might be part of the reason they insulate their criticism for him, or, insulate him from criticism. Versus with Dak Prescott, people love hating, whatever quarterback for the NFL that there is, or for the Cowboys that there is. So,
that's true.
It's easy to hate him because he plays with the Cowboys. Cowboys quarterback, so Tony Romo was always hated.
Mm-hmm.
He could have been a perfect redemption arc story kind of guy, undrafted from Eastern Illinois, comes over and becomes the star in Dallas. Never happened. He was hated because of a fumble one time in one game, like the first year of his career or second year of his career. Like, that was the main reason people hated him.
Yeah,
so fucking much.
That's weird.
Which is, again, it's weird. Like, but once the NFL, once it gets its narrative, once they have that narrative, they love it. They stick with it. It's the same reason Daniel Jones is going to be, the future for the Giants, because they love that. How do I not make this about race? That prototypical quarterback.
Let's just coin it as that. Yeah.
I mean, okay, but look at it. Daniel
It's
Jones
just true though. Yeah.
yeah, he
It's
looks like
true.
he could be Eli's kid. Like their faces are fucking dead ringers for each other.
Yeah.
It's weird how similar they look.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
they're
fair.
gonna give Daniel Jones every opportunity, no matter how many times he fails, because he looks like Eli, and they love that prototype of quarterback.
Yeah, that's fair.
Um, so that might be why it is he's so insulated in the media from that criticism. But I think it is time to start having it. He's costing his team games. The Bills are a city that are starved for a championship. They deserve a championship. They're great fans. Like I always remember when the Bills beat the Ravens. I think it was like 5 years ago, and that helped Buffalo get to the playoffs for the first time in like 15 years. So they donated millions of dollars to Andy Dalton's fundraiser, and they sent the whole team free buffalo wings and everything.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great fan base. That's a great fan base that deserves success and deserves a championship.
It's a fun fan base and a fun team too. Like I love watching the Bills play. Like when they play at home, that environment is awesome. Like I love it, and I want them to win a title. I want to see it. But Josh Allen, stop throwing fucking picks all the time, dude.
I know he just needs to start. I mean, again, he just needs to start trusting his guys more. You can't throw 3 picks to the same guy. What the fuck is that?
Yeah,
but you
like what is that?
He has to, and I don't know if it's a matter of fully if he needs to start trusting his teammates more, or they need to put better pieces around him. But either way, I mean, they have great receivers there, so I think he needs. I didn't see all the picks, so I don't know. Was he targeting Stephon Diggs on each one? Do you remember? Or
I remember.
I know it's kind of a.
I just don't want. Yeah, I don't want to talk out of my side here, so I don't want to say anything. But I know one of them for sure was the. Now I'm doubting myself. One of them had to be the Diggs. For some reason, I think the deep post where he just threw it in double coverage was the Diggs. For some reason,
yeah.
I don't know about the other two.
Yeah, but yeah. So I mean, I think he's since the beginning of 2021. He's either led the league in picks or tied. Or, I'm sorry, turnovers or tied the league in turnovers. I think he's up there with like Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins had 23 and he had like 22.
Yeah, I mean, but he has to be up there. I mean, he do 20 picks in 2022 from the beginning of 2022.
It's tough to win ball games when you're doing that. I remember there was a play in the end of the Jets game where like he took off running, and I was like, dude, just like get down, whatever, get down. And he jumps like he tried to fucking hurdle a guy. And I was like, you're 7 yards away from the first down, dude. It's third down. Just whatever, go down or lower your shoulder if that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
But he jumped and like almost did a fucking flip. And it's like, you realize you play quarterback, right? Like if you go down, your team's season is fucked.
Yeah.
Right? Like you need to protect yourself better than that. You can't be trying to fucking constantly jump over people.
Right. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I can go on about it. Maybe we can extend it for another segment too, but it's so many layers to it.
Yeah. The main one is they need to stop insulating. They need to start giving him his fair criticism. And again, I know they love the narratives, but since Dable's left, he hasn't been the same quarterback, and I think it's okay to address that and bring that back, and reassess that situation. For me personally, I don't think he'd be the number 3 quarterback for me right now. He's slowly starting to move down if he keeps playing the way he is.
Oh, for sure.
By the end of the season, I could see him falling out of the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, especially if Tua's on the rise, Herbert's on the rise. Can't think who else is on the top of my head. Hurts is on the rise. They have Lawrence on the rise. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, there's too many young, good quarterbacks coming up to keep playing like that and still be considered in the top 5 and maybe even in the top 10.
Some other time we'll talk about this, but Purdy's on the rise.
Yeah.
So lots of young quarterbacks out there who are playing well. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think you have Caleb Williams coming into the league next year. You have Michael Penix Jr. Soon you're going to have Shedeur Sanders. I mean, again, there's too many guys coming into the league to keep sitting here making these kind of plays and still be considered a top 3 quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, I think that wraps it up. Any of the last minute comments you want to make about that?
No, I mean, I'll save it. I know we're kind of at time here. Just he needs to play better. Period. Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree. I think Bills fans agree. The ones that are looking at this objectively, going, yeah, he needs to. There's no reason you should have lost to the Jets last week. Like, let's be honest. Once Aaron Rodgers went down, that game should have been over.
Yeah.
You can't have 4 turnovers and expect to win a ball game.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, that will do it from us today. Thank you so much for sitting in with us and sitting through all of our rambling and ranting and game predictions and everything else. If you had fun, give us a like, hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and if you can, give us a follow on our socials. If you didn't,
sorry about
I don't care. We had fun making this, so we do it for us. I was kidding.
Yes, sir.
No, sorry, but always give us suggestions or comments of things you'd like to see us do differently. But until next time, it's been Emmett, it's been B. Thank you for joining us.